It's a Kawasaki Versys 1000. First impressions, it feels really light. Lighter and more chuck-aroundable than my 650. It just feels really well balanced, actually. Quite surprised. It's got a lot more low-down poke as well. The immediate thing I've noticed is this screen. The wind flicking and rattling and rolling around my helmet. It's really noisy. I mean, it's coming around about the level of my helmet, but it's just making it really kind of buffety and loud, even at 60 kilometers an hour. So I think this is another case of Kawasaki's screen designers just being asleep on the job. Probably works loads better when it's at the bottom, or even flipped round, or just replaced with something that's been designed by somebody who doesn't eat crayons for fun. It's got a great induction sound. Let's just give it a quick motorway blast, shall we? See how that screen actually performs at higher speed. You'd think by now that screens would be something that the manufacturers could get right with their eyes closed, wouldn't you? Clutch is really light, really light. I don't know if mine just needs some oil in the cable or what. And it's delightfully smooth. This engine is so very smooth. Of course, I'm comparing everything to the last test ride I did was a Harley Davidson, and my bike is a parallel twin, so I'm kind of used to a pretty high level of vibration. Now, just like my Versys, the seat still leans really far forwards, which surprises me. I could understand the seat leaning forwards if you were going to be hunching into the wind on a naked bike or a street fighter or a cruiser or something, but this is a massive screen and a half fairing, so I don't get why they lean the seat forward. I'm sliding my nuts into the tank. I know I'm supposed to pinch the tank with my legs to stop that happening, but there is a limit, guys. I pinch it all the time. I'm going to have the most unbelievable pelvic floor. We had to crush walnuts with my testicles. This is a boring bit, so what about bells and whistles? I've got all sorts of gadgets down here on this little two-way button with a select in the middle. It controls the power modes. You can restrict the amount of power that the bike puts out. I mean, I always thought that this thing on the right hand is the bit that controls the power, but apparently you can do that too. It also controls the traction control. This bike has traction control and ABS. It has a clock, outside temperature gauge. It's currently 13 degrees, although to be honest, with this beautiful sunshine it feels more like 14. Total miles, trip A, trip B, usual stuff. Instant fuel economy, that's pretty cool. Then average economy. It's got loads of shit on there. Range and a petrol gauge. How good is that? Hasn't really got anything else. It's got headlights. It's got two tyres, one on the front, one on the back. It's got this thing on the front that allows me to point it wherever I want to go, so that's quite cool. Bloody roadworks all the bloody time in this bloody city. Trying to do a test ride, Hamburg. Should have gone the other way, shouldn't I? I'm doing about 80 kilometers an hour, cruising at 3,000 RPM. On my 650, I would be doing 4,000 RPM for the same speed. And it also has a fair bit of poke, even on top gear roll-on from 50 miles an hour. That screen is as noisy as hell though. There is a roaring in my ears right now. If I jump up, it stops because I'm in clean air. If I duck down, it stops completely. I mean, if you're 5'2", this screen would be bloody perfect for you. The engine is beautiful and smooth though, really smooth. Even though I'm doing 70, I reckon if I wanted to give it a bit of poke to overtake, yeah, no need to change down. It's got plenty of grunt there. Even at high speed like this, it's so movable. I think this weighs about 50 kilograms more than my 650, but as I said earlier on, it feels lighter. Well, I want to get off the motorway now. Ding ding! Excuse me, can I have an attendant? I want to get off. See, plenty of juice to jump into a spot there without even shifting down. I got used to that with the 650, but on the 1000 it's even more so. It revs really quickly. Kind of miss that flightiness of an inline 4. Oh, it jumps up there, that's brilliant. Oh, such a slick, smooth gear change. So quick and so light. I'm not sure how much I like that. I like a bit of a solid click when you change your gear, like, I am in gear. I mean, it's direct, you can feel the click and you can hear the click, but it's very, very light. I'm gonna blip the throttle coming down and it jumps so quick, I'm overshooting it by a mile. Feels really, really balanced. It's so easy at slow speed. 30? Oh, you're joking. Throttle's a little bit on at the low end there, trying to go from nothing just up to a tiny little bit, and there's a bit of a nothing clonk as it comes in. I guess that just means you need to be a bit more direct with it. Yes, that's a delightful pickup. The guy I picked the bike up from was very uncharacteristically relaxed. For a start, I was an hour late, but embarrassingly, because I went to the wrong bike garage to begin with. It's not very clever, was it? Anyway, I got there, we filled in the paperwork, and he was like, how long are you going to ride for? An hour? I'm kind of imagining maybe if I'd have said, how does all day sound? He might have actually gone for it, but I never know. I said an hour, didn't I? Idiot. Far too straight-laced, Andy. Quite like this clock layout. I mean, it's a little bit nasty black plastic, but I quite like the sort of semi-military, it could be in an Apache attack helicopter kind of a look. I mean, from in the cockpit, I do quite like the look of this bike altogether, if I'm honest. Oh, that throttle at the bottom end, that's rubbish, that is. Traction control joining in a little bit there. Hello, mate. The noise of that screen is really getting me down. Feels very solid though, very planted. Feel quite confident on it in the corners, even though it's brand new to me. I don't know it at all. Feel confident it's going to go where I want it to go. I mean, I'm not exactly thrashing it right now, but yeah, it feels quite well balanced. I feel confident, comfortable. It's easy to climb around on it. Plenty of room here. Handlebars are in a really good position for this kind of slow, meandery, sweepy stuff. I'm just in top gear as well. No trouble at all, just top gear. Roll off into the corner, gently roll it back on again as you come out. It's got plenty of torque there. And again, it's just so smooth, really, really smooth. There is the tiniest little ripple of a vibration coming through the foot pegs. Absolutely nothing through the handlebars. I'll come clean. I have no idea where I'm going. Absolutely no idea whatsoever. All of this is new to me. Let's pull in here and have a look, shall we? So there it is, Kawasaki Versys 1000, the brand new one. I think it's a good looking machine, to be honest. I really like it. It's kind of divided opinion quite a lot, this. People say that it's too kind of generic Japanese, the way the Japanese bikes are going lately. They all look like a transformer. But I definitely prefer it over the old Versys 1000. I thought that looked a bit rubbish. It's 120 horsepower, 102 newton meters of torque, coming in at 7,500 revs from the inline 1 litre 4-stroke engine. Massive exhaust pipe, which, to be honest, the noise isn't too terrible if you ask me. It's got a good bark to it, but obviously that would be changed as soon as humanly possible. And this screen, this is the screen that's ruining my ride at the moment, but as the plumber said to the actress, all you've got to do is turn the knob and then it slides down, and hopefully that's going to make a hell of a difference to the enjoyment of my ride. Let's get back out there on this bad boy. Lots of flashy sparkly lights as you start up. Very free revving. The noise of that screen isn't much better, to be honest. It'd be much better if it just wasn't there. Check that out. That is really quiet. That's just my helmet in the air as I'm standing up. Sit down, now I'm getting it in the neck, which is, if anything, possibly worse. Oh, it's very easy to go very much too fast. And all in top gear as well. I'm not having to row through the gearbox at all. This is, I suppose, one of the great benefits of a bigger bike is the engine does the work instead of your left toe. Bike this big, I probably don't need to really be climbing all over it quite so much. Got to be honest, my little stint on the mini bike with Matt Moto 46, mini bike Matt, has really improved my confidence with climbing off the bike. Yep, the brakes are pretty much okay, considering they're, I think, pretty much the same Tokico nonsense that are on the Versys 650. Oh, what a noise! Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take two. It's got a lot of power, almost twice as much power as my 650's got. I wanted to go that way, but there's a bloody... Oh, this frigging... Oh, I hate it. Everywhere I want to bloody go, there is some kind of roadworks or roadblock. God, so frustrating. I want to get some twisty stuff in before I have to give this bike back. I've only got it for another 20 minutes. Oh, turning circles a little bit tight. Feels so easy and light to shift about though. I'm really impressed with the weight of this thing, considering the weight of this thing. Quick test, can you do the screen from in the cockpit? Yes, you can. Stick that back up because it didn't really help. Very responsive. They've done a great job with this bike, they really have, except for that screen, but it's fixable, isn't it? Probably needs to be about that tall and everything will be fine. There you go, there's the bloody roadblock, ruining everything for everyone. Yeah, that's pretty rapid, very sharp uptake. Power delivery seems really quite smooth as well. Straight along, there's no gaps, there's no dips. I didn't notice any massive power band that wanted to chuck me off the bike when I hit it. That was always a very strong feeling around 7,000 or 8,000 RPM on the phaser. It was like someone just lit a rocket under its arse at 7,000 RPM and then launched you, whereas this feels a little bit more predictable. Maybe that's something to do with all the elastic trickery going on under the bonnet there, but who knows. I'd rather not switch it all off for this test ride and smash the bike up. That's something I'd save for when the bike was mine. Yeah, the brakes seem to work pretty well from indiscriminate speed. It would be marvellous to tour on this. It's big, it's comfortable, but at the same time it's light, sporty, doesn't feel any heavier than my 650 at all. Maybe there's something wrong with my 650. Maybe I've got a fat 650. One-handed flickability is awesome. Feel like you can point it where you want it to go. That's brilliant. Very impressed. It's the first time I've really ridden a bike like this, and I've got to say it's not what I was expecting. It's far better. I imagined it would be more of a handful. I imagined it would be just a bit more work to, you know, hustle it around because it's heavier. But so very wrong. Sadly, using my handy clicky button setting jib blob, I see that it's 20 past 11, so I better start heading back, give it back and move on to the next one. Oh, after riding on this bad boy with the 4 cylinders and the torque both at the same time, jumping back on my bike is going to be like riding an underpowered washing machine. Oh, here comes the spin cycle. I'll be like a leather-clad lesbian in a prison laundry. The throttle's got a little bit of weirdness, just like the one my 650 has, where it's surging a little bit. There's like a... I mean, trying to keep a relatively closed throttle, it's not holding it steady, it's kind of rocking, which, you know, it's kind of relaxing, but that's not really what you want, is it? I don't really want a 1000cc sports tourer to rock me to sleep. I want it to blast me forth to lands unknown. It's got the same filler cap as my bike has. Whether that has any relevance, any kind. Don't like these mirrors though. Although they are good and you can see quite well, they're a bit in my face. I prefer if they were kind of here-ish, but then something you can adjust yourself again, isn't it? My only niggles with this bike are, they're pretty superficial. They're accessory niggles. Sexy set of bar end mirrors, maybe a bit of jivvy screen action would be in business. And considering, I mean, I'm assuming the suspension settings are all pretty standard. Oh, and by the way, you get what seems to be kind of common across the Versys ranges and across the Versys timeline. You get preload damping on both fork legs, and you get rebound damping on the top of the right hand one. And on the rear shock, oh, it doesn't have a rear shock absorber. Oh, shame. No, the rear shock has remote rebound and preload damping. See there? This knob in here is for adjusting your rear shock action. So I guess I could quite happily be riding along, pull over for a second, give it a tweak, perfect the settings for myself. Although, to be honest, it felt pretty planted in those few little bendy roads that we had. Yep. Slightly open throttle is really clumsy. I guess you could get used to it, but It's something I guess we were all hoping that the bike companies would have tuned out by now. One thing that has been really nice, and I guess it's just part of the whole smoothness of a 4-cylinder, is that I can't hear any plastic rattles. The plastic rattling and the vibration noise and the fairing scuttle shake that I keep getting with my Versys is kind of, it's really getting on my tits lately, if I'm honest. It seems to be getting worse, just because that parallel twin shakes the shit out of everything. But none of that on this. I haven't heard a single plastic squeak or rattle, to be honest. Maybe it's the way I'm going to have to go for my next bike. A litre or more 4-cylinder so that I get almost the best of both worlds. But I suppose before I do that, I need to try a triple, don't I? Really didn't expect to like it this much, if I'm completely honest. I mean, of the batch of bikes that I'm planning to try out, on paper, this was probably the least exciting one, but really rather impressed with it. Maybe that means the others are going to be even better. Maybe they're going to blow this out of the water. Who knows? But I think much like when the Versys first came on the scene, everybody looked at its specs, thought it sounded a bit humdrum, sounded a bit plain, but completely proved wrong, blown out of the water by the package that Kawasaki provided. And as a Versys owner, obviously I'm biased, but at the same time I think I'm qualified to say that it is a surprising package. They're bikes that are far more flickable and far more enjoyable and far more sprightly than they really deserve to be given their specs. Effortless for overtakes, absolutely effortless. Well, we're stopped. How do I get into the seat? Under there, interesting. Look at the under seat situation. Bloody hell, there's some space in there, and I think that's a waterproof toolbox. Very nice. Yeah, that's impressive. There's actually some space under there. Oh, and it's got a centre stand as well. That is a real result. It's the thing that's really getting me down continually about my Versys, is the lack of centre stand. How very dare Kawasaki provide a bike without a centre stand? It's fine when it's in the garage, just stick it on the paddock stand, that's easy enough, but when you're out and about and you want to oil your chain, it's such an unbelievable faff. Oh, it's got engine temperature as well, it's pretty handy, just so as you know. So, we're almost back at the shop. In summary, I really like it, I'm really impressed. Good, solid, strong, super smooth engine. It feels light, it feels balanced, I feel confident with it, it's got a great level of equipment. More information than you could shake a stick at on the dash there. It's chuckable, it's fun, but at the same time it's smooth and it's comfortable. My only niggles would be the lumpy low-end throttle response. The screen, I think, is absolutely terrible. Doesn't seem to stop making a noise in my ear at any speed, at any height. Seat slants forward, but something that you can fix. Sum it up, it's a fantastic bike, no denying it. And it feels right for me, for the size of me. It feels comfortable, it feels like it fits. Probably better than anything I've ridden to date, if I'm completely honest. I mean, that sounds pretty drastic, but out of everything that I've ever ridden, I'd have to say this is pretty way up on the list for comfort and for size. Now, I'm pretty sure my turning should have been ages ago. There's a slim chance I might be going the wrong way. So, quick U-turn test. It is U-turnable. So, how does it feel in a filtering situation? Yeah, surprisingly really very good. Very impressed with that. So this is a bike you could happily have in the city. That was easy, really composed. Just gonna stick ein Stückchen Benzin da drin. It's the least I could do really. I've just razzed their bike around without any real plan to buy it. So there it is then. My litre bike cherry popped with very enjoyable and very surprising consequences. But until the next test ride, keep yourself shiny, keep the black bits on the floor, and I'll see you around. Take care. Oh no! Everything's so clunky and so heavy. Ah!